The cafeteria smelled like burnt pizza and floor cleaner. 17-year-old Lily sat at the corner table, the one nobody wanted because it was right next to the noisy vending machines. Her fingers moved slowly across the bumpy dots of her Braille music sheets, reading the notes like other kids read text messages. She didn't need to see the stares. She could feel them, the way conversations dropped to whispers when she walked by, the way chairs scraped against the floor as people moved their bags to block the empty seat next to them. Being blind wasn't the hard part anymore. She'd gotten used to that. It was the loneliness that hurt the most. Is she reading? Someone whispered, not quietly enough. Yeah, it's like dots or whatever, another voice answered. Lily kept her head down, pretending she couldn't hear them. She'd learned that was easier than confronting people. Her fingers found a difficult passage in the music, and without thinking, she started humming it softly. The melody was complicated, jumping between high and low notes in a pattern most people would find impossible to follow. Oh my God. She's doing that weird humming thing again, a girl's voice said, followed by giggles. Lily's cheeks burned, but she didn't stop humming. Music was the only thing that made sense to her. While other kids saw the world in colors and faces and sunsets, she experienced everything through sound. The rhythm of footsteps told her who was walking toward her. The echo in a room told her how big it was. And music, beautiful music, told her things that had no words at all. The announcement came during lunch on a Tuesday. Principal Chen's voice crackled through the old speakers mounted in the corners of the cafeteria. Attention, students. Sign-ups for the annual Spring Talent Show are now open. See Mrs. Rodriguez in the music room if you're interested. Remember, this year's show will be recorded and shared with parents, so bring your best performance. The cafeteria buzzed with excitement. Every year, the talent show was the biggest event at Lincoln High. Kids talked about it for weeks afterward. The winners got actual trophies and their pictures in the glass case by the main entrance. Lily's heart started beating faster. She'd been thinking about this for months, practicing for this, hoping for this. But now that the moment was here, doubt crept in like cold water. Could she really do it? After lunch, Lily made her way to the music room, her white cane tapping along the familiar hallway. She counted the doorways. 1, 2, 3. Turn left, 4 more steps. There it was. Hello? She called out softly. Come in, Lily. Mrs. Rodriguez's warm voice answered. What can I do for you? I want to sign up for the talent show. The words came out quieter than she'd intended. There was a pause. Just a second too long. Oh, well, that's wonderful, dear. What did you want to perform? Piano. I've been working on an original piece. Another pause. An original piece? Lily, that's very ambitious. The talent show is only 3 weeks away. Maybe you could do something simpler? A nice cover song, perhaps? Lily's grip tightened on her cane. I'm ready. I've been practicing for months. Where do you practice? We don't have a piano in the special education room, do we? The community center. In the basement. There's an old piano there. Mrs. Rodriguez's chair squeaked. I see. Well, all right then. I'll put you down. But Lily, you should know that the competition is quite fierce this year. Don't be disappointed if things don't go as planned. I understand, Lily said, though she didn't understand at all. Why did everyone always expect her to fail before she even tried? By the next morning, the talent show sign-up list was posted outside the main office. Students crowded around it during passing period, pointing and commenting on who had signed up. Wait, look at this. A boy's voice cut through the noise. It was Derek Tang, captain of the basketball team and the kind of person who made everyone laugh. The blind girl signed up. Number 17, Lily Chen. The crowd went quiet for a second, then burst into laughter. What's she gonna do, play piano by smelling the keys? Someone shouted. Maybe she'll sing. You know, like those people on those talent shows who are blind and can sing really well, a girl offered, trying to be fair. Yeah, but can she even find the stage? Derek shot back and the laughter got louder. Lily heard all of it. She was standing just around the corner, frozen in place. Her best friend Katie found her there, back pressed against the lockers, trying to make herself invisible. Don't listen to them, Katie said, grabbing her hand. They're idiots. Maybe I should take my name off the list. No way. Lily, I've heard you play. You're incredible. You're my friend. You have to say that. I'm your friend, which means I won't let you quit because of people like Derek Tang. But the comments didn't stop. Over the next few days, Lily heard whispers everywhere. In the bathroom, kids talked about how awkward it would be when she messed up on stage. In the hallway, someone made a joke about needing a seeing-eye dog to guide her to the piano. Someone even created a poll on social media asking if she should be allowed to perform at all, for her own sake. The worst part was the pity. Some teachers started giving her these sad, encouraging smiles, the kind that said, "Good for you for trying," even though we all know how this will end. The drama teacher, Mr. Phillips, pulled her aside and suggested she might want to reconsider. "It's a big stage, Lily, lots of people watching. I just don't want you to feel overwhelmed." "I won't be overwhelmed," she said firmly. But at night, alone in her room, she wasn't so sure. She'd lie in bed, listening to the sounds of cars passing outside her window, and wonder if everyone was right. Maybe she was being foolish. Maybe she was setting herself up for the most embarrassing moment of her life. Then she'd remember the piano. Every day after school, Lily took the bus to the community center on Maple Street. Most people didn't even know the old building had a basement. Down a flight of creaky stairs, past the storage room full of folding chairs and ancient holiday decorations, there was a small practice room with an upright piano that had been donated in the 1970s. It was out of tune. Some of the keys stuck. The bench wobbled. It was perfect. Lily would sit at that piano for 2, sometimes 3 hours, her fingers flying across the keys, playing pieces by composers dead for centuries and compositions she made up in her own head. When she played, the world made sense. The notes told stories. The harmonies painted pictures she couldn't see with her eyes but understood in her bones. She'd been working on one piece in particular, a composition that started soft and uncertain, like a question being asked. Then it grew, building into something powerful and complex. The left hand would carry a steady rhythm while the right hand danced above it, playing melodies that twisted and turned in unexpected ways. The piece was hard, really hard, but she'd practiced it so many times that her hands knew every movement, every shift, every pause. This was what she was going to play at the talent show. Let them laugh now, she thought. They wouldn't be laughing for long. 2 weeks before the talent show, Lily's phone buzzed during study hall. She had it set to read notifications out loud through her earbuds. New message from Katie. "Don't go on Instagram. Just don't." Lily's stomach dropped. When someone tells you not to look at something, it's already too late. The damage is done. She opened the app anyway, letting the screen reader tell her what was there. Someone had created a meme. The description read, "Photo of a girl with sunglasses and a white cane standing at a piano." Caption, "When you sign up for the talent show but can't even see the keys. Hashtag Lincoln Talent Show. Hashtag This Should Be Good." The post had 63 likes. 63 people thought her dreams were a joke. Lily pulled her earbuds out. Her hands were shaking. She could feel the heat rising in her face, that awful burning sensation that came right before tears. She wouldn't cry, not here. Not where people could see her and feel even more convinced that she was weak. She made it to the bathroom before the tears came. Standing in a stall, she let herself cry quietly, one hand pressed against her mouth to keep the sounds in. The bathroom door opened. Footsteps, 2 girls talking. "Did you see that post about the blind girl?" "Yeah, it's kind of mean, but also like, what did she expect?" "I know, right? It's going to be so cringe when she goes up there. I almost feel bad for her." The word almost cut deeper than anything else. They almost felt bad, but not quite bad enough to defend her. Not quite bad enough to take down the post or tell people to stop. Lily waited until they left, then splashed cold water on her face. She ran her fingers under the faucet and pressed her wet hands against her swollen eyes. "Pull yourself together," she thought. "You've handled worse than this," but had she? This felt different. This was her choosing to be vulnerable, to put herself out there, and watching the world sharpen its knives in response. That afternoon, she almost didn't go to the community center. She stood at the bus stop, her thumb hovering over her phone, ready to call her mom and ask for a ride home instead. Just skip practice today. Maybe skip it tomorrow too. Maybe withdraw from the talent show and let everyone forget she'd ever been foolish enough to try. The bus pulled up with a hiss of air brakes. Lily got on. The community center was quiet when she arrived. Old Mr. Patterson was at the front desk like always, watching a game show on the small TV. "Afternoon, Lily," he called out. "Piano's all yours. Been listening to you through the vents. You're getting real good." "Thanks, Mr. Patterson." She made her way down the stairs, counting them out of habit. 12 steps. Turn right. 5 more steps to the practice room door. the smell of old books and lemon cleaner, the sound of pipes humming in the walls. She sat at the piano and placed her fingers on the keys but didn't play. She just sat there feeling the smooth coolness of the ivory beneath her fingertips. Why was she doing this? Really, truly, why? The question sat heavy in her chest. It would be so much easier to quit. To go back to being invisible. To stop giving people reasons to notice her, talk about her, laugh at her. Her phone buzzed. A text from her grandmother. Your great-great-grandmother Ming played piano in Shanghai. Did I ever tell you that? Lily smiled despite herself. Her grandmother had told her this story at least 100 times, but she texted back. Tell me again. The phone rang a moment later. Ah, my Lily. Her grandmother's voice was warm and crackling like a fire. Your great-great-grandmother Ming, she was blind too. Born that way like you. This was in the 1940s. Very difficult time in China. War everywhere. Hungry times. But she had a piano and every night she would play. What did she play? Lily asked, even though she knew everything. Classical music from Europe. Traditional Chinese songs. Things she made up in her own head. People would stand outside the window just to listen. They said her music made them forget the war for a little while. Made them remember there was still beauty in the world. Lily's throat felt tight. Did people ever make fun of her? There was a pause. Her grandmother's voice came back softer. Of course they did. Some people are afraid of what they don't understand. Some people are small inside, so they try to make others small too. But your great-great-grandmother, she didn't play piano for those people. She played for herself, for the music, for the ones who needed to hear something beautiful. After they hung up, Lily sat at the piano for a long moment. Then she began to play. The piece started the way it always did, soft and searching. But today something was different. Today she wasn't just playing notes on a page. She was playing her frustration, her anger, her sadness, all the times she'd been ignored or pitied or laughed at. Every moment she'd felt invisible or broken or less than. Her fingers pounded the keys in the intense sections, flying through complex passages with a kind of fury. Then she'd pull back, letting the music turn tender and aching like a wound that wouldn't heal. The piece became a conversation between the person she was and the person she wanted to be. Between the girl everyone saw and the girl who existed in the music. She played it 3 times through, then 4, then 5. Each time it got better, more honest, more real. When she finally stopped, her hands were sore and her back was stiff. She checked the time on her phone. 3 hours had passed. The sun must have set outside. The community center would be closing soon. As she packed up her braille sheets, Mr. Patterson's voice came from the doorway. Miss Lily? I hope you don't mind, but I was listening. I've been working here 23 years, and we've had a lot of folks come play that piano. But I've never heard anything like what you just did. Lily felt her face flush. Thank you. You playing that at your school show? I'm supposed to. If I don't chicken out, now why would you do that? Lily shrugged. People think I'm going to embarrass myself. Maybe they're right. Mr. Patterson was quiet for a moment. Then he said, my son was born with one arm. Wanted to play baseball more than anything. Kids made fun of him, something fierce, called him names, told him he'd never make the team. You know what he did? What? Made the team. Played outfield. Wasn't the best player out there, but he wasn't the worst either. And you know what happened to all those kids who made fun of him? What? They had to sit in the stands and watch him prove them wrong. Now, I'm not saying you're doing this to prove anything to anybody, but I am saying that those folks laughing at you, they've already decided you can't do it. You don't owe them a thing, but you might owe yourself the chance to try. On the bus ride home, Lily thought about great-great-grandmother Ming playing piano while war raged outside. She thought about Mr. Patterson's son playing baseball with one arm. She thought about every person who'd ever been told they couldn't do something and did it anyway. She opened her phone and went to Instagram. The meme was still there. More likes now, 87. New comments too. Most of them weren't kind, but there were other comments mixed in. Leave her alone. Let her perform. Some of you are really showing who you are right now. Can't wait to see what she does. Takes guts to get on that stage. Katie had left a comment too. Lily is amazing and you're all about to find out why. Lily took a screenshot of the meme. Not to delete it, not to report it, but to remember. To remember what it felt like to be doubted, so that when she sat at that piano on stage, When her fingers touched those keys in front of hundreds of people, she would play like someone who had something to prove, not to them, to herself. The night of the talent show arrived faster than Lily expected. One day she was practicing in the basement, and the next her mom was helping her pick out something to wear. "What about the blue dress?" her mom asked. "The one from your cousin's wedding?" "Mom, I'm playing piano, not going to prom." "You want to look nice, though. This is being recorded, remember?" Lily ended up in black pants and a simple white shirt. Nothing fancy, nothing that would distract from the music. She stood in front of the bathroom mirror even though she couldn't see her reflection, letting her mom fuss with her hair. "You're going to be wonderful," her mom said. But her voice was shaky. She was nervous too. "What if I mess up?" "Then you mess up. Everyone messes up sometimes. But Lily, I've heard you play that piece 1,000 times. You could play it in your sleep." The drive to school felt both too long and too short. Lily's dad tried to make conversation, talking about random things like the weather and what they might have for dinner tomorrow. Nobody mentioned the elephant in the car, that in less than 2 hours Lily would be on stage in front of 300 people. The auditorium was already buzzing when they arrived. Families were finding seats. Kids from school were running around, excited and nervous. Backstage, performers were warming up, doing vocal exercises, stretching, practicing their dance moves one more time. Lily found a quiet corner and sat down, her hands folded in her lap. She could hear everything. The squeak of chairs, the murmur of conversations, someone laughing too loud, the drama teacher giving last-minute instructions to the tech crew. "Hey." Lily looked up. "It was Katie. Your family's here. Front row, left side. Your mom made me promise to tell you." "Is there a lot of people?" Katie hesitated. "Yeah, pretty much full. But listen, Lily, I need to tell you something." The tone in Katie's voice made Lily's stomach twist. "What?" "Derek and some of his friends, they're sitting in the back. I heard them talking. They're planning to laugh when you come out. Like deliberately, to try and throw you off." Lily felt like she'd been punched. "Oh, I wanted you to know so you could be ready. Don't let them get in your head. Too late for that." "No, it's not. You're Lily Chen. You've been ready for this your whole life. Some stupid basketball players aren't going to change that." But after Katie left, Lily's hands started sweating. Her heart was hammering so hard she could feel it in her throat. She tried to take deep breaths like her mom had taught her, but the air felt too thick. The show started. She could hear it through the backstage curtains. First up was a group of girls doing a dance to some pop song. Big applause. Then a boy doing a comedy routine. Mixed laughter. Then twins singing a duet. More applause. Each act that finished meant she was one step closer. A sophomore did a magic trick. A girl played violin. A boy did impressive card tricks. The acts blurred together in Lily's mind. She was going over her piece mentally, hearing every note, feeling every key press in her imagination. "Number 17, you're up next," the stage manager called out. Lily stood up. Her legs felt weak. Katie appeared beside her. "I'm walking you to the stage entrance, okay? I'm right here." They made their way through the backstage area. Lily could hear the current act finishing up. A girl singing a song from a musical, strong voice, confident, the applause when she fi. Nisht was loud and long. Then Principal Chen's voice came through the speakers. "Thank you, Amanda. That was beautiful. Next up, we have Lily Chen performing an original piano composition." The applause was polite but scattered. Lily heard what she'd been dreading, laughter from the back of the auditorium. Not the whole crowd, but enough. Enough to make her knees feel like water. "You've got this," Katie whispered, squeezing her hand. Lily stepped onto the stage, her white cane tapping softly against the wooden floor. The lights were bright. She could feel their heat on her face even if she couldn't see them. The auditorium stretched out before her, full of people she couldn't see but could feel. Their presence was like weight pressing down on her shoulders. More laughter rippled through the crowd. Someone made a comment she couldn't quite hear, but the tone was clear enough. Mocking. Her cane found the piano bench. She folded it and set it aside carefully, then sat down. The piano was a beautiful grand, much nicer than the old upright she practiced on. She adjusted the bench, moving it closer to the keys. Her hands were trembling. In the front row, she knew her parents were holding their breath. Her mom was probably gripping her dad's hand. Grandmother had wanted to come but hadn't been feeling well. Lily wished she was here now. Someone in the back yelled something. "Can she even find the keys?" More laughter. Louder this time. Lily's hands hovered over the keyboard. This was it. This was the moment where she either proved everyone wrong or confirmed their worst expectations. Every doubt she'd ever had about herself came flooding back. Every time someone had made her feel small. Every moment she'd been invisible or dismissed or pitied. She thought about great-great-grandmother Ming playing while war raged outside. She thought about Mr. Patterson's son on the baseball field. She thought about every hour she'd spent in that basement, alone with the music, playing for no one but herself. And then she thought about something else. Something she'd almost forgotten. She thought about why she started playing piano in the first place. She was 7 years old. Her parents had taken her to a concert at the Civic Center. A famous pianist was performing. Lily had sat in the dark auditorium, and for the first time in her life she hadn't felt blind. The music had painted pictures in her mind, told stories, made her feel things she didn't have words for. When the concert ended, she'd turned to her mother and said, "I want to do that. I want to make people feel what I just felt." That was why she played. Not to prove anything, not to stop the laughter or win approval, but because music was the way she touched the world, and the way the world touched her back. Lily took a deep breath and closed her eyes. Not that it made a difference for her, but it was a gesture of focus, of shutting out everything except the music. She placed her fingers on the keys and began to play. The opening notes were soft, almost hesitant, like a question being whispered in the dark. Her right hand carried a simple melody while her left hand provided gentle support underneath. The notes floated through the auditorium, clear and pure. The laughter died, not gradually, immediately, like someone had flipped a switch. Lily didn't notice. She was already somewhere else, somewhere the audience couldn't follow. She was in the music now, in that space where sound and emotion became the same thing. The piece began to build. Her left hand picked up a steady rhythm like a heartbeat, while her right hand started to dance. The melody grew more complex, weaving in and out, sometimes playful, sometimes melancholy. Her fingers moved faster, jumping across the keys with impossible precision. In the audience, mouths fell open. Students who had been slouching in their seats sat up straight. Teachers leaned forward. Parents who had been checking their phones put them away. Derek, sitting in the back with his friends, felt something strange happening in his chest. Something uncomfortable. It took him a moment to recognize it as shame. The music swelled and dipped, taking everyone on a journey they hadn't expected. Lily's whole body moved with the piece, swaying slightly, her face showing every emotion the music carried. She looked like she was having a conversation with the piano, asking questions and receiving answers, sharing secrets that only the two of them understood. The piece reached its most challenging section, a part where both hands flew across the keyboard in a complex pattern that seemed impossible to coordinate. Notes cascaded like water, like light, like something beyond physical description. And Lily played it perfectly. Not mechanically perfect. Emotionally perfect. Every note meant something. Every pause carried weight. This wasn't just technical skill, though the technical skill was undeniable. This was art. This was a 17-year-old blind girl showing a room full of people what the world looked like through her ears. In the front row, Lily's mother had tears streaming down her face. Her father's eyes were wet too. All around them, people sat frozen, barely breathing, afraid that any movement might break the spell. The piece built toward its climax, and the entire auditorium held its breath. The music exploded into its final crescendo. Lily's hands moved in a blur, racing up and down the keyboard with a speed and accuracy that seemed superhuman. The notes crashed and soared, building higher and higher like a wave gathering strength before it breaks on the shore. Then, suddenly, it pulled back. The chaos resolved into something simple and beautiful. A single melody, clear and pure, played with her right hand while her left hand provided soft, gentle chords underneath. It was like watching a storm clear to reveal the stars. The final notes hung in the air, delicate and shimmering. Lily held the last chord, letting it fade naturally, her foot still on the sustain pedal. The sound dissolved into silence, and for a long moment nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Lily lifted her hands from the keys and placed them in her lap. She sat perfectly still, her heart pounding, wondering what would happen next. Then the auditorium erupted. The sound was like thunder. 300 people leaping to their feet, applauding, shouting, some of them crying. The noise was so loud it felt like a physical force. Lily's whole body jerked in surprise. She hadn't expected this. She'd hoped to just get through it without embarrassing herself. This was something else entirely. "Bravo," someone shouted from the crowd. "Oh my God," another voice called out. The applause went on and on. It wasn't the polite clapping that had followed the other acts. This was different. This was the sound of people who had just witnessed something they would remember for the rest of their lives. Principal Chen ran onto the stage, his face flushed with excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen, Lily Chen!" His voice cracked with emotion. The applause somehow got even louder. Katie appeared at Lily's side, tears streaming down her face. "Lily, oh my God, Lily, you did it." "You actually did it!" Lily stood on shaky legs. Katie helped her walk off the stage. As they passed through the curtains into the backstage area, other performers were staring at her with expressions she couldn't see but could feel. Awe, respect, maybe a little envy. "That was insane," someone whispered. "How did she even do that?" another person asked. Lily's parents found her backstage, both of them crying and laughing at the same time. Her mother hugged her so tight she could barely breathe. "My baby, my beautiful baby," her mom kept saying, over and over. Her dad's voice was thick. "Lily, that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I'm so proud of you," but Lily barely heard them. She was still processing what had just happened. The silence when she started playing. The way the laughter had died instantly. The feeling of the music flowing through her, perfect and pure. The explosion of applause at the end. Had that really just happened? The rest of the talent show continued, but everyone knew it was over. Nothing could follow what they'd just witnessed. A junior did a decent hip-hop dance. 2 girls performed a comedy skit. A boy played guitar and sang. All of it was good. Some of it was very good, but nobody could stop talking about Lily. In the hallway during intermission, it was all anyone discussed. "Did you see her hands moving? I literally got chills. I can't believe we go to school with someone that talented. I feel like we just saw someone who's going to be famous someday." Derek stood near the water fountain with his basketball friends, but he wasn't really part of the conversation anymore. He kept seeing Lily's face as she played, the way she'd looked so completely absorbed in the music. He thought about the meme he'd laughed at, the jokes he'd made, the way he'd planned to laugh when she came on stage. He'd laughed for about 3 seconds. Then the music had started and he'd felt like the smallest person in the world. "You okay, man?" one of his friends asked. "Yeah," Derek lied. "I'm fine," but he wasn't fine. Something had shifted inside him. He'd spent his whole life being the guy everyone liked, the popular kid who could make anyone laugh. And in that moment, watching Lily play, he'd realized that none of that mattered. None of his trophies or his popularity or his jokes meant anything compared to what she had just done. She had changed something in that auditorium. In just 5 minutes, she had made 300 people see the world differently. What had Derek ever done that came close to that? When the show ended and it was time to announce the winners, everyone already knew. Principal Chen took the stage with the 3 trophies: 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st. 3rd place went to the twins who sang the duet. They were thrilled, hugging each other and waving to their parents. 2nd place went to the girl who did the magic tricks. She looked genuinely happy, grinning as she accepted her trophy. Then Principal Chen held up the 1st place trophy. "I've been principal at Lincoln High for 12 years, he said into the microphone. "I've seen a lot of talented students. But tonight we witnessed something truly special. Something that reminded all of us why we have these shows in the first place. The 1st place winner, by unanimous decision of the judges, is Lily Chen." The auditorium exploded again. People were on their feet before Lily even made it to the stage. Katie guided her up the steps, and Principal Chen placed the trophy in her hands. It was heavy, solid, real. "Would you like to say anything?" he asked, holding the microphone toward her. Lily hesitated. She'd never been good at public speaking. But with the weight of the trophy in her hands and the sound of all those people applauding, she felt like she could do anything. "I just want to say thank you," she said, her voice small at first but growing stronger, "to everyone who believed in me. To my parents, to my friend Katie, to Mr. Patterson at the community center who lets me use the piano, and to my great-great-grandmother Ming, who I never met but who taught me that music is stronger than anything that tries to stop it." More applause, more cheers. As Lily walked off the stage, trophy in hand, she felt different, lighter somehow. like she'd been carrying something heavy for years and had finally set it down. The lobby was chaos after the show ended. Parents taking pictures, students hugging each other, teachers congratulating performers. Lily found herself surrounded by people she'd never spoken to before. That was amazing. You're so talented. Can you teach me piano? Where did you learn to play like that? It was overwhelming, but in a good way. Katie stayed close, helping her navigate through the crowd. They were almost to the exit when someone called out, "Lily?" Wait, she turned. The voice was familiar, but she couldn't quite place it. "It's Derek Tang." The crowd around them got quiet. Everyone knew who Derek was. Everyone knew he'd made fun of Lily. "I just wanted to say," his voice cracked a little, "I wanted to apologize. For everything. The jokes, the comments, all of it. What you did tonight, it was incredible. And I was wrong about you. Really wrong." Lily stood there for a moment holding her trophy. She could have said something cutting. She could have made him feel as small as he'd made her feel. Part of her wanted to, but a bigger part of her just felt tired of the anger. "Thank you for saying that," she said simply. "It means a lot." Derek nodded, looking relieved and ashamed at the same time. "If you ever want to, perform somewhere else or need help with anything, let me know. I'm serious." As they walked to the car, Katie whispered, "That was really nice of you." "I would have told him off," Lily smiled. "I thought about it. But you know what? I don't want to waste any more energy on being angry. I just want to play music." Her dad loaded her white cane into the trunk while her mom fussed with her seatbelt. The trophy sat in Lily's lap, solid and real. She ran her fingers over it, feeling the engraved plate with her name. First place, Lily Chen. As they drove home, her phone started buzzing, text after text, friend requests, messages from people she didn't even know. Apparently, someone had recorded her performance on their phone. "Mom, what's happening?" Lily asked as her phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Her mother checked her own phone and gasped. "Lily, sweetheart, someone posted your performance online. It's been shared hundreds of times already." "What? People are calling you a prodigy?" "There are comments from all over. Los Angeles, New York, even some international ones." Lily's dad glanced in the rearview mirror, grinning. "Looks like the world's about to discover what we already knew." But Lily barely heard them. She was thinking about the piano in the community center basement, about the hours of practice, about all the times she'd wanted to quit and didn't. The trophy in her lap wasn't just a piece of metal and plastic. It was proof. Proof that she'd been right to keep going. Proof that the music mattered. Proof that sometimes the things that make you different are the same things that make you extraordinary. She leaned her head against the car window, feeling the vibration of the road beneath them, and smiled. Lily woke up the next morning to her phone ringing. Then ringing again. Then again, "What's going on?" she mumbled, reaching for it. Her mom rushed into the room, out of breath. "Lily, honey, don't answer any numbers you don't recognize. We're getting calls from reporters, music schools, even a talent agency." Lily sat up, suddenly wide awake. "What? Your video?" It went viral overnight. Over 2 million views, 2 million. The number didn't even feel real. By noon, it was 5 million. By evening, 10 million. The video had spread across every social media platform. People were sharing it with captions like, "This made me cry," and "Faith in humanity restored," and "Wait for it, you won't believe this." The comment section was overwhelming. Thousands and thousands of messages from all over the world. "I'm a piano teacher of 30 years and I've never seen talent like this. My daughter is blind, and this gave her so much hope. Thank you. I was having the worst day and this made me believe in beauty again. This girl is going to be famous, mark my words." But there were other messages too. Messages that hit even deeper. "I'm 16 and I have cerebral palsy. Everyone tells me what I can't do. Watching you made me realize I need to stop listening to them. I was about to give up on my dreams. This reminded me why I can't. I've been blind since I was 8. Thank you for showing the world what we can be." "Oh." Lily sat on her bed, listening to her phone read comment after comment. She'd played that piece for herself in a school auditorium for 300 people. She'd never imagined it would reach millions. The phone calls kept coming. A representative from a prestigious music conservatory in New York. A producer from a morning talk show. A classical music magazine wanting to do an interview. Her parents tried to screen them all, but it was impossible to keep up. On Monday morning, walking into school felt surreal. The hallways, usually filled with the normal chaos of teenagers, went quiet as she passed. Not the bad kind of quiet she was used to. This was different. "That's her," someone whispered, but it wasn't mean. It was amazed. A freshman girl approached her nervously. Lily, can I ask you something?" "Sure. I play cello, but I'm really bad at it. I was going to quit. But after watching you, I think I want to keep trying." "Is that stupid?" Lily felt her throat tighten. "That's not stupid at all. Keep playing. It doesn't matter if you're bad right now. What matters is that you love it." The girl's voice brightened. "Really? Really?" Throughout the day, it continued. People who'd never spoken to her before stopped to congratulate her. Teachers pulled her aside to tell her how proud they were. The music teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, actually apologized for doubting her. "I should have had more faith," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "You showed all of us something important." But the strangest moment came at lunch. Lily was sitting with Katie, eating and trying to process everything when she heard footsteps approaching their table. "Mind if I sit?" It was Derek. Katie tensed beside her, protective. "What do you want?" "I just want to talk, please, just for a minute." Lily nodded and Derek sat down. She could hear him fidgeting, nervous. "I've been thinking a lot since Friday night," he said, "about why I made fun of you. And I think I figured it out. It wasn't about you at all. It was about me being scared." "Scared of what?" Lily asked. "Of people who are brave enough to be different. You weren't trying to fit in or be cool. You were just being yourself. And that's terrifying to someone like me who spends every day trying to be what everyone expects." Lily hadn't expected that. She'd expected another apology maybe, but not this kind of honesty. "I started a petition," Derek continued, "to get the school to buy you a better piano, one you can practice on here, so you don't have to take the bus to the community center. I've got 200 signatures already." Katie made a small sound of surprise. "You don't have to forgive me," Derek said quickly. "I don't deserve it. But I want to do better. I want to be the kind of person who builds people up instead of tearing them down." Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I don't want to carry anger around anymore. It's too heavy." She could hear Derek's shaky exhale. "Thank you, really." After he left, Katie leaned over. "Did that just happen? Did Derek Tang just have a moment of actual personal growth?" Lily laughed. "I think he did. Your piano performance didn't just change you. It's changing everyone." Over the next few weeks, life became a whirlwind. The video hit 50 million views. News stations called. A famous concert pianist shared it and invited Lily to perform with her in San Francisco. A recording studio offered to help her produce an album. But the offer that made Lily's hands shake came from Berklee College of Music. A full scholarship. Room, board, tuition, everything. They wanted her to join their program for exceptional young musicians. "It's one of the best music schools in the world," her father explained, his voice filled with pride and sadness at the same time. "If you want this, we'll make it work." Lily thought about it for days. Boston was far from home. She'd never been away from her parents for more than a few days. The thought of navigating a new city, a new school, all those strangers was terrifying. But then she remembered something her grandmother had said. Your great-great-grandmother Ming didn't let the world's blindness to her gift make her blind to her own worth. She called the school and accepted. The months that followed were a blur. She performed at the San Francisco Concert Hall, her fingers flying across a Steinway grand piano in front of 2,000 people. The standing ovation lasted 4 minutes. She did an interview with a national morning show. The host cried on camera, "What do you want people to take away from your story?" the host asked. Lily thought carefully. "I want people to know that the things that make you different aren't weaknesses. They're just different ways of experiencing the world. And sometimes, those different perspectives are where the most beautiful things come from." The video of that interview got 20 million views. But the moment that mattered most to Lily happened on a random Tuesday afternoon. She was back at the community center playing on the old upright piano one last time before leaving for college. Mr. Patterson came down the stairs with someone else. "Lily, there's a young girl here who wanted to meet you." A small voice, maybe 8 or 9 years old. "Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm blind too. My mom showed me your video." Lily's heart squeezed. "Hi, Hannah, do you play piano?" "I just started. I'm not very good yet. But watching you made me think I could get better." "Is that true? Can I really get better?" Lily stood and walked over to where the girl's voice was coming from. She knelt down and found Hannah's small hands holding them gently. You can get better at anything if you practice and don't give up. But here's the secret, it's not about being the best. It's about finding something that makes you feel alive. Does piano make you feel alive? Yes, Hannah whispered. When I play, I don't feel blind anymore. Exactly. Hold on to that feeling. No matter what anyone says, no matter how hard it gets, remember that feeling. Did people make fun of you? Yes, a lot. What did you do? Lily smiled. I played anyway. And eventually, the music was louder than their laughter. Later that night, Lily's grandmother called. She'd been following everything, watching the videos, reading the articles. Your great-great-grandmother Ming would be so proud, she said, her voice wavering. You know what she used to say? What? She said that music is the language that doesn't need eyes to see or ears to hear. It goes straight to the soul. You've reminded the whole world of that. On her last day before leaving for Boston, Lily went back to Lincoln High. The school had installed a beautiful new piano in the music room, paid for by donations from students, parents, and people from around the world who'd seen her video. A plaque beside it read, "In honor of Lily Chen, who taught us all to listen with our hearts." But what made Lily cry wasn't the piano or the plaque. It was the line of students waiting to try it. Kids who'd never touched a piano before. Kids who'd been too shy to share their music. Kids who looked different, felt different, were different. They'd all been inspired to try. Katie found her in the hallway afterward, wiping her eyes. You okay? Yeah, Lily said, smiling through her tears. I just realized something. That night at the talent show, I thought I was just playing for myself. But I was really playing for all of them. For everyone who's ever been told they can't. For everyone who's ever felt invisible. You weren't invisible, Katie said. You were just waiting for the right moment to shine. As Lily walked out of Lincoln High for the last time as a student, she thought about everything that had happened. The mockery, the doubt, the fear. The moment her fingers touched those keys and everything changed. People asked her all the time if she was bitter about how she'd been treated. If she was angry at the people who laughed. The truth was simpler than they expected. She'd learned that some people would always doubt her. Some people would always underestimate her. Some people would always see the blindness before they saw the person. But she'd also learned that none of that mattered. What mattered was the music. What mattered was staying true to herself. What mattered was showing up and playing her heart out, even when the whole world was laughing. Because eventually, if you play beautifully enough, the laughter stops, and the whole world listens.